What's up, everyone? I'm joined here today by Quillan Salkilld. He's got an upcoming fight this Tuesday on Contender Series. How you doing, Quillan?
Hey, Michael, I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on.
So, upcoming fight against Gage Young. Both you guys have a lot of similarities, man. 6-1 versus 8-1. You guys are both very young in your pro career. Very young, 25 and 24, I believe. Um, Interestingly enough, you guys kind of have similar backgrounds from what I've seen. You kind of were pursuing an AFL Aussie Football League career. He was trying to go play college football. So, I really think it's interesting some of the parallels you guys have in the matchup. How do you see the fight going? What do you make of your opponent, and how do you see the fight going on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the highlight of the card. I'm pretty sure we're opening it up, so yeah, I think we're going to be the main fight to watch. I'm pretty confident in
Yeah, man. Honestly, all the first fights on Contender Series for the
that.
first 3 weeks have been bangers. I know your boy Cody Hayden got it started week 2. That was a really
Yeah,
amazing performance by him. I really ranked his opponent Billy. I thought he was a high level guy, and Cody made quick work of him. So tell me about the momentum your gym has. I know you guys are tight. I've seen the relationship with your coach, man. It's really cool to see how you guys are really tight, but. What's it like get it from Cody getting the win, getting the contract? That's just got to boost your confidence going into this matchup, right?
yeah, that got me so pumped up watching him win the other week. Yeah, it's the atmosphere at the gym, especially as of late in the past like year or two, has been really good. We've had a bunch of fighters come through and develop, and yeah, we're really developing really well as a gym and as a unit. And, we started off just training in my coach's backyard. He had like a room at the back of his house with some mats in it, and that was the original like the gym pretty much. And then here we are now fighting on a contender series for a UFC contract years later.
Yeah, well, a lot of greatness has come from garages.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
Apple was built in a garage, so Louis Strode Combat Academy coming out of a garage, wouldn't be the first big thing to make it out of the garage. So that's awesome, humble
yeah.
beginnings. But it's awesome to see you guys grow as a team, as a family, working as a unit. What's it like? I know you're out in Vegas now. How was the flight over? Long flight from Perth, across the world. How are you adjusting to the time difference? How are you settling in?
Yeah, man. Flights suck. We had so many delays, and my bag didn't come through. I had to wait. Oh, it was it was a bunch of hassle.
Brutal.
But now that I'm here, adjusting, fairly well. Just with the sleep, it's a little bit off. I'm waking up like really early, like 4 a.m. But just need a couple of days to adjust, and the quite used to actually like the dry heat. Back home in the summer, it's very similar. Uh, yeah, the heat just you know very scorching. So it's
Yeah, out in the
used to
desert.
the weather. Just the time difference is just hard to get used to.
Yeah, you got out there early. I think, should be well adjusted by Tuesday, ready to go. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little about last year. You actually had the opportunity to,
Mm.
fight for the road to UFC. It fell through last minute. It was, real unfortunate because you already had made the weight, got through, one of the hardest parts, the weight cut,
Yeah.
and then last minute your opponent gets bumped up, loses. So that's got to be pretty tough. But I want to talk to you about like what was it as far as the back end? Like, did the UFC have any assurance for you, or was kind of like, hey man, sorry, it's not going to work out this time? What was going through your head when that fight fell through?
And I was obviously very devastated, but at the same time, I knew my time would come. I knew my name was now, in the mix, and all I had to do was just, go back and get a couple of wins together, and I'd I'd be here. I pretty much predicted that, one or two more fights after that, I'd be onto this season of Contender Series, and I was right. So I didn't really make like too much of a fuss about it. I didn't get too down. I just went back home and went back to work, and I knew, you know, within the distant future, my opportunity would come again. And now here we are. This is like exactly 1 year later. So it's quite a cool story.
Yeah, everything comes full circle. And I think that
Mm,
speaks a lot to like your mindset, man. And I mean, speaking of you predicting things, if you go in your Instagram bio, you have an interview with Sherdog from 2020. So you're a young fighter, 20, 21 years old, and you say,
yeah,
"Hey, my goal is to be in the UFC by 2023." And by all means, it was out of your hands that it didn't happen. But we're
yeah,
here in 2024, and you got the golden opportunity. You're gonna make the most of it. Where do you see yourself, make another prediction here in 4 years from now?
man. I see myself at the top of the lightweight division in the UFC. Either, I see myself in the top five.
29 years old, you'll be right hitting your prime. I think that's,
Yeah,
a great statement. And it's just really cool to see your mindset as a young fighter, setting those goals and really achieving
mm,
them. And I want to talk more about your transition to MMA. I know, from other interviews I've seen, you moved out, from your hometown to the city of Perth to pursue that AFL career, Aussie football, which, I know
yeah.
shit about, but it looks cool. And how did the transition to MMA happen? Did you just go in the gym one day and catch the bug, or how did it, go from the switch to AFL to MMA?
Yeah, it was exactly that. Like it was something I kind of wanted to try for the like a couple of years leading up to actually first starting to train. I was just like a fan of the sport, and it was like the off season during the footy season, and UFC gym in Perth just opened up, so I decided to join up just to give it a shot as like just another alternative like training, um, just something new to do. And yeah, after like the session, I was hooked, and within a like 3 months, I had a full switch from wanting to do AFL as my career choice to wanting to do this. It was like yeah, it felt like just like yeah, it was just like a flick of a switch, and I was just all in.
Yeah, you caught the bug. I mean, you said it
Yeah,
was 3 months maybe before you made the decision, and then how much later was that first amateur fight? I'm pretty sure just a couple months, right? You were
yeah.
right
It
in
was
the
I
cage.
was 6 months in to like training. I had my first amateur fight, and then yeah, since then I was there. I was amazed. I'd never been in a situation like that, and I just that rush and that adrenaline, and I feel like an adrenaline junkie after that. I just want to do it again and again, and here we are now.
Yeah, I mean, as a skater, adrenaline junkie is not
Yeah,
too
yeah,
far off, so makes sense. But talk to me about how I know it's a little unfortunate, first amateur career, didn't go your way, pro debut didn't go your way, but I just think it speaks a lot to your resilience, man. You're able to
yeah.
bounce back from that, not get discouraged. But what's it like, having to get over that obstacle in your debuts?
I don't know, man. It obviously sucked. I've been cursed with never being able to call myself undefeated. It's just a could be a blessing as well. It kept my head screwed on straight. So it's yeah, it's just coming back from that. It was just nothing to it. I just afterwards like you know uh figured out where I went wrong, what I could do to improve, and got back to work, back in the gym, and make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, man. So this is going to be your introduction, to a lot of, USA fans and just a lot of
Yeah,
UFC fans in general. It's going to be a lot of spotlight. So if you have like one thing or just like who you think you are as a fighter, what you want the fans to think of you going into this fight, like how would you describe your fighting style and how would you describe your personality that you're bringing to the UFC?
I mean, I say my fighter style is like a hunter. I'm always searching for the finish, and I'm always on the attack, no matter what position I'm in. I always put on good fights. Yeah, there's nothing else to it. It's either you like me or you don't, whatever. I'm here to really make a dent into the UFC lightweight division.
Yeah, and I mean, watching your fights, I don't know how anyone couldn't be a fan. All finishes except for the one fight against
Yeah,
Brett Pastore, my New
yeah,
Jersey native. So,
yeah.
and in that fight, it's crazy. His toughness. You almost submitted him maybe 10 different
Yeah,
times.
I was,
So,
I was waiting for him to give it to me. I was just waiting. There was like moments I was like, oh, he's giving it to me. He's done now. And then he just last second just, does the right thing. Just manages to survive. But there's a lot of things I did in that fight where I could have gotten the finish. I just made a couple of little errors in that one.
Yeah, but in my opinion, that fight going the 5 rounds is a huge, experience for you because
Yeah, it
you're
is.
able to go the 25 minutes and especially, a lot of people don't have that opportunity before the
Yeah,
UFC, going that full 25, feeling themselves in the championship round. So you've been in that deep waters, you've
yeah,
tested yourself. I think that's huge, because you
yeah.
know what
I
it's going to
agree.
take.
Yeah, I agree.
Your last performance was a rematch against Dom Marfan. You had some adversity in the first round. He had a takedown early on, some control time. End of the round, you completely switched it on him. Had a
Yeah,
triangle locked up, took him. It was nasty, man. I mean,
yeah,
your jujitsu's slick. It's really fun to watch, and you're a finisher, man. I think
yeah,
against Gage Young, from the tape, he's a good opponent. I expect him to come forward. I think he's gonna shoot on you early. I think he's gonna pressure heavy, and he has some heavy hands, but. Um, as far as the matchup goes, what do you think of your skills? You're confident in the stand up wherever the fight goes, I'm sure, or
yeah. I have too much variety for him. I know what he's gonna throw. I've watched all his fights. He throws the same things, and I'm gonna really be throwing too much for him to handle. So it's he's not gonna be able to defend everything that I throw at him. I'm gonna throw everything at him. Hands, knees, feet, takedowns, submissions. I want to be just constant attack and constant pressure from the get go. It's only 3 rounds. I can fight 3 rounds all day.
yeah, and I think you'll wilt him and break him with that pressure.
Mm.
Some guys love being the hammer, and then the second they're the nail, it doesn't turn out great. We've seen it plenty of times before, so I think it's going to be an exciting matchup, man. I'm
Yeah.
really excited. Both you guys, I feel are going to be the best fighter each other has faced, in my opinion. But
Mm.
I feel, in my opinion, you have fought the higher level of competition. Some of the guys he's lined up against, really for me, are not the highest level. So,
Yeah, I
I,
agree. Sometimes it's hard to see how good he really is. Like he could, yeah. Like depending on who your opponents like. Some opponents you fight someone good can make you know push and be better, and sometimes fighting a shit guy can make you look good or can actually hold you back from showing everything that you actually have.
yeah, of course. But I
Mm.
feel like someone like you who has the right mindset is just
Mm.
going to rise to the occasion. And,
Yeah,
when presented a challenge, you're just going to rise to it. You know what I mean?
yeah. I love
Push
that
yourself
pressure, man.
harder.
Yeah. It's why I do this sport. I like those high pressure moments and those situations, and just being in them makes me feel alive. So especially this one. This one's for all the biscuits, and I can't wait to get in there and feel that and rise.
Yeah, I think also, I've seen a couple of times you talk about how you got into the UFC. It's really funny for me just playing the video game.
Yeah, yeah,
UFC 2 is probably my favorite game of all time. Like the
yeah.
game, I'm not big of a gamer, but UFC 2, it was like sophomore year of high school. I was just grinding hours and hours on the game. Loved it. Jones Gustafson on the cover. So that's just a cool story, man. That's how you found out about the UFC, and now you're fighting for your chance to you're gonna be fighting in front of Dana White. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I know. I can't wait, man. This is a lot of fighters' dream.
Yeah, and you get it. It's gonna be the opportunity of your lifetime, and it's right in your hands. So it's awesome. Tuesday night, everything goes well. What's the plan after? You sticking around in Vegas or catching the red eye back to Perth?
We fly out the day after in the evening, so I've got a day. I'm gonna celebrate hard on Tuesday night. Gonna go all out, and then I'm gonna go home and get back to work. I want to stay busy. I want Dana to put me to work, so I'm looking to get back in there ASAP afterwards.
Yeah, that's one thing. I watched the documentary All or Nothing. Your Roma Lustra had some really kind words to say about you, how right after the fight you're back in the gym,
Yeah,
taking on anyone, talking to guys who are in there for the first day, it shows your humility and just the type of person you are. So that's awesome. And then, can get back home and watch Love on the Spectrum with your boys, right?
yeah. My favorite show.
Yeah, I seen that, man. I had to bring it up that you and the
Yeah.
homies just chilling, watching Love on the Spectrum.
It's such a good show. It's so funny.
Yeah, so I mean, that's covering most of my. I want to get in a little fun part. I'm not gonna lie, man. I had a lot of trouble trying to get the name right. Quillan Salkilld. I
Yeah,
did a decent job, I think. But
that's yeah, you did very well. It's a lot better than most people.
where's the nickname at? Because I got some ideas for you. Or it's just,
Oh,
you
you
just
got
got.
sling of four because
Yeah.
man, all the nicknames that I get given are mainly from my coach, and they're all pulling the piss out of me. So I don't know what.
Let's see what you think of these.
I
So first we got Magnum.
Magna. I've heard
Just
this one. That's
strictly
pretty good.
PI,
That's
not
pretty good. Yeah,
talking
yeah.
anything else. Just strict. We got Magnum.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. I do that.
Copperhead, you're
Copperhead.
strangling
Boom.
guys.
Copperhead.
Australians, at
Oh
least
shit.
the
Copperhead Quill. That's a good one.
American stereotype of Australia is you got all those dangerous snakes, all those
Yeah, we do.
crazy
Yeah.
animals. So, fitting for you because you're out there strangling almost everyone you fight,
Yeah.
man.
That's a good one. I like these. Goose.
Goose,
Oh shit. Yeah.
the next one is really I mean, dude, this is Rooster. You guys,
Rooster. Oh yeah.
you could be a stunt double here.
Yeah.
I So yeah, just playing around there with some nicknames. We gotta figure something out. We'll get
They're good
together.
ones. Yeah, I gotta get one lined up. But yeah, most of them are piss takes from my coach, so I can't have them. Yeah.
And what's the relationship like with your coach? You guys being so close and having that relationship. I mean, I think it gives you a big leg up. Some of these guys fighting at these big gyms, their coaches probably barely know them, and you have a real intimate relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very tight. We've been together since day one, and we're a very tight knit gym, so there's not an awful lot of you know people around. So a lot of his focus is on our small group of fighters. So we get to we hang out every day, twice a day. So yeah, we are very close.
That's awesome, man. I really think you guys are building something good out there. And I'm super excited to see what's to come for you Tuesday and, just down the line in your UFC career, still so young to have this opportunity at 25. It's really amazing,
Mm,
so world's pretty much, at your fingertips and you just got to go out there and grab it or snatch it up come
that's
Tuesday.
it. That's it.
Yeah, man. So if you want to shout out any sponsorships or anything you want to say before we log off, obviously the fight will be 8 p.m. this Tuesday, Contender Series. I think a lot of people are going to be tuned in. It's going to be a big audience. Contender Series, I love it. It's awesome. Getting fights on Tuesday nights, in the middle of the week helps the week go by so much faster.
Yeah,
And,
it does.
you know,
Yeah.
this is a betting channel, so hopefully everyone's on you to make some money.
Yeah, yeah. I need to get some commission off everyone who bets on me back home. I need to take 10% of
Yeah,
all
maybe link
winnings.
the Venmo.
Yeah, I gotta go collect when I get back home. Yeah,
Yeah, but this was honestly awesome, man. Having you on here, it's a huge honor. I appreciate you making the time. And besides
all
that, you
good.
guys can check out the live streams Friday and Monday night. Me and Guru are always here. Guru, check out his Patreon, and Thursday he drops his full card predictions for UFC. He's one of the best in the business.
Yeah,
He really knows what he's doing. So, Quillan, thank you so much. Good luck Tuesday. You're gonna kill it. I'm super excited, man.
awesome. Thanks, Mike. It's been a pleasure.